We should pull off we should try to find 2 or 3 award shows a year, just so it's kind of like a vacation night where it's no planning, no stories, just look at this screen. Hey, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
I don't like it. Okay, next topic.
The adult beverages are poured. The kids are asleep. Welcome to New Dad Gaming. It's a show about fatherhood, gaming, and new fathers figuring out their gaming lives.
My name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old.
Each week, we try to show that just because you became a dad
Does not mean it's game over.
there should be some sort of podcast listener drinking game where will we remember to do the tagline at the top of the show. I think last 5 we missed it.
I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. Or will they edit it in after? We don't know.
Yeah. Did Trevor Google something mid-show? Did they remember their tagline? Did they purchase something on stream?
Yes. Did they get each other to buy a game? Right? There's a bingo that's happening here.
I'd like to see it. Hey, Gaming Dad, so great. So glad you could join us once again. Quick shout out to all the usual channels at New Dad Gaming on Blue Sky and X and Instagram, newdadgaming.com. If you have a story, if you have an idea, if you have a show note, absolutely love hearing from Gaming Dads. Anything you guys can toss our way, would love to speak about it. Go ahead and reach out to us on any of the channels. If you do find any of the podcasting networks, Google Play, Spotify, Caster, iTunes, anywhere where you get your podcasts, look for New Dad Gaming, give a subscription, and as much as possible, if you can do a rating or a comment, super helps out the show. See how we can finish out 2024 in strong fashion. So speaking about finishing in strong fashion, had some questions for you about bribing your children to do well in school.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
So, I'll say, thankfully, both my kids do fairly well in school. I think my oldest tends to struggle a little bit more, and I do feel for him. I think he took my tenacity for languages, which is to say none, and he is in a French school,
right?
So he was a little late getting in. They've done well to try to help him out, but it's a bit of a struggle. In addition to, I think, kind of just generally not liking school. But that's okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, he came back. Generally, they change the marks. I'd be curious if your marks are the same. When I was young, I watched TV and grades were F, D, C, B, A, right? Like A plus student, F student, right? That was on TV.
Yeah.
In my school, it was E was the best. I can't even remember the rest. It was sort of
was
D,
it good, satisfactory, and
yes,
yeah.
That's E, G. Yeah, I think S might have been.
That's the lower.
Yeah, maybe X, leave.
Yeah, yeah,
But now they've gone to just numbers. So it's 1, which is bad, and 4, which is excellent. 1 through 4.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Now, for the most part, he's hitting 4s. Oh, sorry, he's hitting 3s. But then on a couple, he's hitting 2s or even kind of low 2s. The teacher's kind of marked that it's this is dangerous, close to 1.
Okay.
Now, my general estimation with school, for the most part, kind of depending on the kid a little bit, but my general thoughts about school is that with effort, most kids can probably get to a 3. Because especially the way they kind of position school and position the homework and everything else like that. If you show up, if you do your homework and you study for your tests, I think most kids are capable of 3. At very least, what I know is I know my kid is capable of a 3. I think he could probably be a 4, but he'd have to have a passion for it, and he's whatever, right? So what I introduced last time is that he came in, he had a couple low 2s, threatening 1s. It's this is bad. I was all right, here's the scale of rewards that we're going to be seeking. Okay,
right. Did you pull out a chart under 1, you get nothing?
If you look at this chart behind me, just pull it down from the ceiling. I've been planning it all week. So the scale of reward that I kind of came up with him to try to motivate him to see if this works is that 4 is we're gonna go get, if he gets any 4s, we're gonna go get stuffed cookies.
Oh.
So this new store just opened up. It's a bakery. You got, anyone listening may have this in your hometowns, but stuffed cookies. So it's like a Mars bar inside of a chocolate chip cookie,
Right.
and worse. Basically, it's basically the fair food has now become store food.
Yep.
Anyway, so like,
Stuffed
so if you get
cookies.
4s, stuffed cookies.
Four
You
of
want
them
these
or
four?
just one? Like you get like numerical, like match
I'll
it.
probably get like one. Like I'll probably buy 2 each, but then they can have it the second one the next day or something. I don't
Okay. Okay.
know. Stop grilling me. Stuffed cookies, Jeff.
Just trying to clarify. What's in it for your kid and dad.
But then on the opposite end, if he comes back with 1s, like I told him, like, you're losing video games.
Okay. Yep.
Like, until those marks come up, like, those are going away. Because we just can't, you cannot have 1s. Like, you cannot just fail like that in school, right? Because you're smart. I know you're smart enough. I know you're capable enough. And that's just a lack of effort, which is kind of exciting. So I had like the no video games, the stuffed cookie
To stuff cookies.
scale of how the new thing's going to go. I'm feeling pretty good about it. He seems to have locked in. I will not say, I don't think his effort's improved.
Okay.
I am asking him constantly. I'm reminding him of the
Yeah.
stakes. And within that scale, he seems pretty confident.
Okay.
So at very least, it's kind of like we've set the stage for what's about to happen. But I was curious, had you ever dealt with something similar around, at very least, like it feels like it's a classic. Hey, if you fail in school, like you're going to lose your video games. Did you guys have anything similar as far as games or rewards or other motivations?
Yeah. So we've never been into a situation where we'd have to take away video games for the grades. I think it would be more about, we're hearing from the teacher, that they're coming to school like tired or not motivated or something. And that's when we'd be like, okay, the games have to go away after school because you're not relaxing. You're not coming down from, your long day. And then you're going into school tired and cranky because you just want to get back to your video game, right?
Yeah.
Where marks are concerned, it's interesting that you have like 4s to 1s or whatever it is. Like, because we have numerical values. So it goes all the way up to 100.
Okay.
So we can see where they kind of sit, which is just
So that's good. It's just there's no pretense.
No.
It's just that you got mostly 70s on your test, so like your score is like 70. It's not some random like.
No.
It's like, all right, well, you got a mushroom, and that represents pretty good, and a star is the best. But oh no, it's a Goomba. You didn't do so well.
where's the chart where I have to like consult the matrix to be like, what? Where are you in this? Like,
Is this good?
yeah. So, and it's 2 different systems because, again, my 14-year-old's in high school, so that's all like, 99s, and then my 11-year-old is A, B, C, D, E, whatever. So we've never gotten to the place where I guess they're, in such a danger zone that we have to like take it away, but it is that effort level that you talked about because we know that they can do certain things. And if they are struggling, both my kids, again, I think I've mentioned on the show, they both have ADHD. So if something doesn't motivate them, it's not to say it's an excuse to not do it. It's just tougher for them, right? So they have to regulate. They have to, try a different way to approach it. It's not like they can give up. So if we don't see that effort level come in, then yes, we would take away video games. We haven't said, hey, we'll go and get a stuffed cookie. I have, however, out of the
It feels like a shot. I was being pretty honest. I
No,
thought it
no,
was a fairly
no.
good. Like,
because I have offered ice cream. So like Dairy Queen is their jam, right? Blizzard's their jam. So if they come home with like great comments, because I think it's more about the comments for us, for the teacher, like, hey, which some of them are boilerplate, like, hey, you just picked a drop down menu. But if we get good comments there, like, oh, okay, they're cleaning up after themselves. These are the issues that we have, right? Disorganization. They leave stuff at school all the time. If they put in effort there, ice cream. We go get Blizzards. Dad gets
That's
Blizzard.
cool.
Mom gets Blizzard. Everyone's happy. This is great.
Jeff gets a little treat too.
That's
Yay.
right.
I won't lie. Like, I want to try these stuffed cookies, Jeff.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like, real
But it's like
talk.
a treat for everyone, right? Like if everybody dumps in that effort, for sure. So I'm hoping the stuffed cookies help. Because, we did the ice cream thing. And that, I think, was a good reward, right? Like it's like, oh, even if just a little thing, right?
Okay. Now, have you ever had a delta exist between the 2 kids? Because one thing I have noticed is that my youngest has taken more easily to school. Now, to be fair, he's also in like second grade. So we have fourth grade and second grade.
Yeah.
And it's easier. But he's always just had, even comparative to when my oldest went through the same grade, it's just come a bit more naturally to him. And he kind of seems to revel in that fact a little bit. Because I'm talking to the older one. It's like, hey, listen, man, you got to get these grades up. This isn't good. And then he'll show up. It's like, hey, mine are pretty good. It's like, all right. Like, I get it. Like, I was a younger brother, too.
That's
We're
hilarious.
all kind of dicks. Just like... So he seems to be kind of just like putting the knife in him a little bit. He's like, well, I got great. If I get good grades, do I get cookie? And it's like, you always get good grades. What am I supposed to say then?
Yeah.
Like,
Can I have his cookie? Like,
so, have your kids ever had that kind of back and forth relation?
oh, for sure. But it is opposite mine. So like, again, my older one, no problem. Like in a different tier of just school, like they could do it. Everything is easy to them. Younger one, not so much, a little bit more effort. And yeah, they play back and forth like, oh, like I was there. That was easy. Like, what are you doing? Right. And meanwhile, it's a grade 9 talking to a grade 6. You'd be like, grade 6, nothing. Like, whatever. You don't even get homework. I get homework. Right. And I did all this stuff. Yeah. All the time.
The sibling rivalry alive and well. Hey,
I
Gaming
did.
Dads, any of you have do you have a similar story? Did you find a really good method for prompting grades? Did you have a particularly great bribe or threat? Write in at newdadgaming, newdadgaming.com. Now, one thing I've not broached, I would never broach, would be, hey, if you don't get good grades, you're losing Christmas. Seems a bit sharp. Seems a little harsh.
Yeah.
But I will say that we found ourselves into a really difficult time this year finding what to get them for gifts.
Yeah.
Because usually like a decent out is sports stuff. You know, so one plays soccer, one plays baseball. They have everything. Like they're currently playing, so they already have everything they need. I can't get them more of that stuff.
Right.
Video games, and this was a more interesting, like kind of rich vein to hit upon, is that they already have all the games they need. See, it's one of those. We have Xbox Game Pass, right?
Right.
So on the Xbox, they have all those games, right? In addition, I have the Xbox Series S. It does not have a physical disc, right? So even if I wanted to, like on Christmas morning, it's like, here it is, like here's a disc. It doesn't work. They can't receive it. They can't have it. So it's not going to work.
No. Yeah.
So we have Game Pass, which already has like a plethora of games. Their biggest game they love to play is Roblox, which is just like a crazy series of like a bunch of other kid-made games.
Yeah.
And if I wanted to, the system's all digital, so I can't buy them. So I can't buy them sports. I can't buy them video games. Like we're really scratching our head this year. So
yeah.
I want to bring it up to you. It's like, I don't have you had something. Sorry. And last one, you hear often. It's interesting advice. Like, why not buy experiences? So okay, like as a family, we're all gonna go to like XYZ, and you pick like a spot, right? Again, as 7 and 9, the Christmas morning, in my view, and they've kind of like borne this out, is just really still precious. You come down and there's all these gifts in the tree, and you open it. It's like, oh my god, it's a car, it's a toy. This is great.
Yeah, it's Pokemon.
There's that excitement, right? As opposed to like, here's an envelope, and in this envelope's a letter that says we're gonna go see the geodes at the museum. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have the same cachet. So for me, it's like, okay, we wanted to find something that would excite them, so they kind of rip it open, and we just find ourselves a bit cornered. So I'm kind of curious, as like at the current age with your kids, is it easy? Is it hard? Was there a particular transition period? Because when they're 6, it's like Paw Patrol. There you go. Here's Paw Patrol.
Yeah.
Best day of their lives. Fantastic. But then they come to an age, and were there stages of gifts where you noticed it some years being particularly hard?
There are definitely stages and phases of just dread of like, oh God, what do we get them?
Dread.
Because it goes from like the standard, like you said, Paw Patrol makes them happy, done, right? Like that's it. That's all they need. A bunch of that stuff, even Pokemon cards, a bunch of that stuff, whatever. Actually, Pokemon cards are still a hit. But it's just like the basics. It can roll through, not a problem. There is a phase where, again, they weren't really, I think it was even just last year, they didn't really ask for games, right? They're like, again, they play Roblox. They aren't really into anything that's out there already. They already have everything else that they kind of want to play. So what do you get them? So what we ended up with, Trevor, and I'm just going to pose this as an idea for you to consider.
Hey, good. Help a brother out.
Okay, so for the older one, at that time he was 13. Had his laptop in his room, whatever. We got him a gaming chair. And it's just a cheap gaming chair, not like a $500 thing. It was just like $100 gaming chair. Over the moon, huge box. Got to put it together, right? Got to put it together with Dad. The whole thing, fantastic, like hit. Mom and Dad win because it's a piece of furniture. The 13-year-old at that time gets the win because, oh my God, it's a gaming chair. That's amazing. It's mine, right? It's like for me.
Yeah.
Perfect, right? The younger one had nowhere to put their laptop in their room. Guess what? IKEA to the rescue. Oh my God, I got my own desk. Get to put it together with Dad. Set it up. Mom and Dad win.
You were going to have to get that. Like for homework and everything else, you already had to do it.
Correct. We would have to get it anyway. But now it's a Christmas gift. And
Thanks,
the beauty
Mama.
of it, the beauty is that, when they're younger and they're kind of like, again, kids are kind of stupid. They don't know that I bought those Pokemon cards secondhand. Well, now they're older. They can sniff those out, but they don't know that this furniture would have happened anyway. They're like clueless. I'm like, oh, perfect. Outsmarted again. So
that is very good.
just posing it.
So from a space perspective, we're a bit tight. But I am thinking about those kind of dorky gaming chairs. They cost like $50, but they're kind of like rocking chairs, and they just sit on the ground.
Anything, yes.
Because in truth, the way we have this like beautiful sofa where the main like gaming setup is, and they sit on the hard ground between the sofa. Like that's their area.
Yeah.
So I can almost have these like gaming chairs just sitting within it instead.
Absolutely. Man. Again, it's a big gift that sits under that tree, or maybe it's like a beanbag chair or something. Like, actually, we got beanbag chairs. I'll throw it a shout out again to anybody that has too many stuffies. There's beanbag chairs that are just the material, and you put the stuffies in from the kids that don't want to get rid of them. But now it makes a nice little seat, and they get to sit on their memories. But
they can crush their memories slowly. Welcome to adulthood.
Right? Mom and Dad win. You get rid of all these stuffies. The kids get a chair. Beauty. Works. Perfect.
That is very tight. That is very cool.
So
okay,
phases.
that's fantastic. Jeez, I will consider it perhaps even for next year. But man, the stuffy thing is like that's huge. Thankfully, cars are out of it. But I know enough kids or parents with kids that have mountains, so that'd be like fantastic. Smart.
Oh yeah, we have mountains. So my kids are still not out of not out of stuffies at all. But
but. Yeah, we'll see what we get. I think so. We'll round out the year. I think we'll be okay for this one. The one I've been trying to avoid is Robux.
Oh yes,
and I don't know. Like maybe I'm thinking about it wrong. I mean, it's like they would love it. That's gonna make them crazy happy. They've asked for it before too. To be very clear, so they would be like over the moon to have it. They'd be so excited. Easy. Yeah, like they get to use and they go off. It's video game related, which I kind of adore. But there's just I don't know. Should I just give up the ghost? Should I just it's like it's fine? Like Robux is a thing now. Anytime I have a grandparent who doesn't understand what to get, like I'll tell them to go to Shoppers and Drug Mart and buy a Robux card. Do I give up?
I think it's time. I think it's time you let go and you have the kids just have their joy with Robux, even though it's going to be like grating on you a little bit. But we gave up probably a year or two ago. They were allowed to even ask for it because before it would have been automatic. No, you're no birthday, nothing. But now it's like, okay, but not in like crazy denominations. Like they're not getting $100 Robux, like $20. Sure. You go buy the cosmetic you want, whatever. Just know, like, and it kind of teaches them about, if they don't already know about money and like running out of money, you can buy a certain amount of things and then it's done. Like, that's it. So you spend it all in a day or all in one game. Like, that is it. So
I'm so excited.
I would
I
let
can
it,
see.
I
I
would
can
let it
feel
go.
it. Like I know how excited they're gonna be with it.
Right?
Oh, it's upsetting.
And it's an easy one. That's an easy win.
Oh, it's just like the so all the kids, so all the so for all my siblings with all the grandkids or like sorry nephews and nieces, they all do Secret Santa.
Okay.
So everyone,
Yep.
so every nephew and niece gets another nephew and niece, and they just all like exchange gifts. See, Roblox would be easy, but it's kind of loud. There's nothing like not very fun about that as far as like, hey, like here's an envelope with a little bit of money, basically, yay, as opposed to an item. But at the same time, here I am struggling with like, what else am I supposed to suggest?
Yeah, I came from that kind of place too, because I like opening up stuff and building stuff like Lego and like remote control cars, like stuff with batteries that you could like, it runs around and does something. But this generation, which I think they're Gen Alpha, at least mine are in the digital space, and I think that's what they value, right? So it's like coming down to
Yeah.
their level and be like, okay, this is really gonna make it for you. Open up that Roblox card. You can even print it out in a fun thing. I usually make like a story about it in like a handmade card, and then they read it, and then they have to figure it out. Even okay, again, sorry, we have done not escape rooms, but like find the gift. So they have all these puzzles that they have to solve and go around the house and open up progressively better and more complicated puzzles. It's always been a hit. It is a lot of work, but
Yeah.
you kind of get that opening thing going. So much so, it was so successful here that they did it to old Dad, and Dad was struggling with their puzzles.
It's like, what does any of this mean? I don't know where my gift is. Just give me my
Right?
present.
I need to go get the coffee going. Like, give Dad his gift. Okay. Yeah. So that's another way to look at it too, if you want to.
That is cool. Okay,
fun thing.
you might have convinced me on it. I'll have that in my back pocket. I'll see if I can avoid it for one more year, but
Okay.
probably not. We'll see where we get. Hey, gaming dads, any recommendations? Did you struggle? Did you find a solution? Do you have any suggestions for fellow gaming dads? Would be happy to read some of those on the air. Write into us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. Now, this was just a quick shout out, and perhaps anyone can ask their significant other for this under the tree if you are finding yourself playing a lot of Switch games. So all of our nunchucks, to the surprise of nobody, are broken. Just like, I remember I was recently playing Zelda, the recent Zelda title,
Yep.
and just the shoulder button didn't work. Just broken. Just completely busted.
Sure.
Ran through 4 or 5 tutorials online about how to fix it. And I got it to work at like a 50% clip.
No.
But it's like, all right. And especially what really killed it was Brothership. The gaming dads here received copies of Brothership to review. And that was the block button.
Oh,
And
okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to have that working half the time. Like, that's nonsense.
I'm not losing in this game. Yeah.
So off I go to online Facebook Marketplace, and wouldn't you know it, there's someone around the corner selling secondhand Hori Split Pad Pro. So we're showing this on video for anyone watching, but you can imagine taking like an Xbox 360 controller and just slicing it in half. And these are like these big, like meaty, comfortable Joy-Cons, basically, that slide to the other end. I don't think they have any motion sensor, so these are made to be slapped onto it things, but it ends up being very much a Steam Deck. Like, it's this big kind of bulky, kind of nice meaty feel to it, and all the buttons are super responsive. Like, they are nice full controller buttons.
Nice.
So it's really quite comfortable. So if you are playing the Switch like just in front of your face, like just holding the thing,
Yeah.
it is a pretty nice upgrade. New, they're not that expensive, and you can usually find a pair used. So I just wanted to give that shout out for gaming dads or something to consider if you're finding yourself holding a Switch a lot, and all your kids have busted all of your Switch controllers.
Well, Merry Christmas to old Dad here. You got your nunchucks. Well, your Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons. So I want to give a quick shout out, just something to consider if you're finding yourself playing a bit more of the Switch. Now, wanted you to cover the Roblox Terms of Service update. I had seen this email.
Yes.
I myself had not actually read it. I assumed it was just a, hey, we've updated them, read them.
Yeah.
But it turns out it's a bit, I don't want to call it sinister. but it's a bit more involved than that. It's probably something we should all take note of. So what has happened for parents of kids who play Roblox?
Yeah, so again, Roblox changed their parental controls on how you manage your child's account, and you may have received these emails. I myself received a few of them and ignored them, much like you, where I'm like, oh, it's just like an accept button, whatever. Anyway, that is not what happened. Found out with my child that tried to change an in-game setting. It was a chat function so they could talk to their friends, and they need to ask permission from a parent. And usually you could type in your PIN, your parent PIN, and change the settings right within the account. Not a problem. Very easy. I don't need to do anything more than that. Now, it emails me for consent. I have to go in and either create a Roblox account or log in as a guest. But then either path leads you to, okay, we need to verify who you are, your age, and if you say that you're the parent or guardian of your child, please upload a government issue ID to this third-party website.
God, so like, draw some blood,
Yeah.
upload, get it tested, do a couple fingerprints, do an iris scan. Damn, man, like so straight up government ID to prove that you're of age.
Yeah.
Is there anything more stringent than that? Like, do you have to have the same last name as your kids? Do they try to prove anything, or is it more just like, hey, look, you are an adult, right?
That's a good question. They do say they align. So usually when I log in, I just picked a random birth date because I don't care. That has to align with the driver's license. Your last name does have to align with who you say you are. They don't know the kid's last name, so I don't know how they would really check that unless you're just saying, like, I'm claiming this account.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure entirely what it's getting them out of liability, right? Because a lot of countries themselves have outlawed Roblox because they have no controls. Like, they don't have enough of a control to lock down any issues. This just seems like, oh, hey, upload all your information, and I don't know where it exactly goes. They say they don't keep it, but I'm like, well, how do you verify it? Well, they run it through an AI system. Okay, well, that's keeping it somewhere.
Yeah, so that has to go to a server somewhere. This doesn't feel great.
It doesn't, and just, I could be a little bit, maybe I'm just a little paranoid, but I'm like, I really just don't want that kind of information, picture and everything, like a scanned thing out there. And I was trying to look for an alternative way to do it. They say you can link a credit card with it, but it doesn't give me an option to do that. And maybe that's only U.S. citizens or like certain countries get to do that. But it never gave me that option because that actually would be easier for me. I just link a credit card, it charges a cent to it or whatever. Because I think even Nintendo does that at the beginning. And then be done. And then they don't have my full license.
Yeah, jeez. Not sure how to feel. So it makes sense as far as we want to verify. We don't want kids to go on here without some sort of parental supervision. So
Right.
that sounds good. It is a bit upsetting to the parent, hey, something about like your government ID, but something about requiring you to upload photos of your government ID because it's like cool because somebody could just take that and now open a bank account. Like this sucks. Like that's really an unfortunate amount of information you're collecting. But at the same time, it's like, okay, well, just tell me your age and please be honest.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's like, yes, my name is my dad. Just my age is old. It just
Right.
They blast because you even lied, right? Like you used to just put some rando birthday. So that's just what a kid would do. And I'm trying to. So it's this weird. I'm not sure how to thread that needle, where it's like respecting privacy and not, especially for something like Roblox. Like, hey, how would you like into the vast, wild world of Roblox? How would you like to upload your government issued ID?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, am I going to see it as a purchasable item in future? Like, I really would.
You could be a skin on a Roblox character. You're like, hey, because you do have to upload a selfie with it to prove that the license picture matches you, the one submitting, right? So now they got your face.
Am I becoming in-game currency? Like, what?
You are totally going to become in-game currency for like the Tony Hawk ripoff. You'll be like one of the skateboarders to unlock. Hey, that's Trevor.
Oh, that's what I mean. So it's just like, it's troubling. I didn't. So I think, like, what was your resolution? So I believe, if I remember the story, is that like you opted not to.
I stopped. That stopped me in my tracks. I just said to my kid, like, you just can't turn on the chat function, I guess, until Dad figures this out. Because
Until you're 18.
Yeah, like, and again, my teenager has a Roblox account, which it's only 13 and under, right? So they're at 14, it just automatically transfers to whatever. That to me is they're still a minor, so I don't know why they have access to all the other stuff. I'm like, you still don't lock that down, so it's just the odd choices.
Yeah, so I don't know. At some point, it'd be like her, and again, it's just where there's this confliction because on the one side, fine, well, you don't need to chat to people on the internet.
Yeah,
which would be okay if it wasn't the fact that Roblox has now become the online meeting place,
right,
for so many kids. Because as I understand it, your kids go online with their friends to play Roblox. Like mine right now are just talking to randos, so I'm happy just to no, you can't chat. You know what? You not chatting is much better.
Yeah,
but for you, like they're trying to be there for friends, so to not have chat is actually very detrimental. Now, don't they use Discord though? If I might push back a bit,
they do use Discord and Google Meets. Not all of them are they're just not. So when you log into Roblox, you can see who's online, and then immediately get into a game with them and start chatting them. So that's usually how they just go about their day. Now they could just get into the game, boot up Discord or Google Meet, and try to call them that way. And it's just, some of the kids don't have access to it. Some of them are on iPads. So the chats are just within the game itself. And we've allowed Discord, but some other parents haven't. So it's just their playground, right? And I think that's what the risk is that everybody else knows this is where kids come to congregate, and that's the issue. I don't know.
So I want to keep on top of this because I'm curious if you're going to just receive an unrelenting pressure campaign from your kids to just upload your ID. Just give them blood, Dad. God, like let me chat with my friends.
Maybe this is the perfect Christmas gift where they unwrap it and it's just my photo ID, and they're like, Dad got you the chat function back. Merry Christmas. That's it. Like,
it's a picture of you at your laptop, like just with a thumbs up, like as you're in the midst of doing it. Merry Christmas. Chat away, friend.
That's right.
Oh, fantastic. We'll wrap it up there for the week, everybody. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. This has been New Dad Gaming. If you'd like to reach out to us, if you have your own challenges with Christmas, if you have your own concerns with Roblox and ID, or any of the other stories that we mentioned today, please reach out to us at New Dad Gaming, newdadgaming.com. We're on all the socials. And otherwise, speaking with gaming dads, one of the best parts by far of the show. Thanks to everybody who wrote in last week. So great to hear from you. So please continue to do so. Jeff and I would be very happy for it. If you like the show and would like to subscribe, you can find us on all the major podcasting networks. Caster, Spotify, Google Play, iTunes, anywhere where you get your podcasts. Search for New Dad Gaming. Give us a subscription. What really helps out is a rating and a comment. Helps us blast out to as many gaming dads as possible. At some point, we can all just get our kids the exact same thing for Christmas.
Yes.
You know, and just like decide, okay, this is the gift this year. Take a burden off one another. And see if we can't get some hive mind going for future. Hey, gaming dads. Thanks for listening. Until next week, my name is Trevor, and I have a 9-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And I'm Jeff. I have a 14-year-old and an 11-year-old. That's not a Roblox chat.
Not yet. We'll see what happens next week.
That's right.
All right. All right. Remember, everyone, just because you became a dad
does not mean it's game over.